Hey everybody! Here's Lisen's jewelry box. I haven't been online for a while and I've been moving to Spain and doing different things. And I was looking at my jewelry, taking care of it, cleaning it, taking new photos to post so you know what there is to buy and look at. And while I was doing that, I remember very often how many clients ask me, Lisa, how do you take care of this ring? How do you take care of this jewelry? And it's a really relevant question because you don't want to damage it, you really want to take care of it. And very often we haven't learned to do that. It's not like you know how to clean a house, right? And what things you use. If you don't, you read about it. But it's not always as simple as jewelry because you might have never learned it. It's not something that is there all the time in front of you. And that's, for me, it has been. Since I was a kid, jewelry has been part of my life. My parents are antique dealers. They started with jewelry. They still have jewelry. They're not so much selling it, but they still have it. And I grew up learning all of these things. I grew up cleaning it. I grew up cleaning silver. Not that it always was the most fun part as a teenager, but I learned it. But I can give you some kind of very easy tips and ideas how to take care of your jewelry in your daily life at home. There's different things you could do. There's very simple things. There's things that are a little bit advanced where you buy products, and also we recommend you going to a jewelry and taking care of them there too, so they get really cleaned. If they are good, and you ask them if they have experience with older jewelry, or if you get somebody to recommend, it's really absolutely great. And they will clean it often, and they have machines cleaning them. They will also check that the stones are sitting well, and if they tell you a stone is loose, ask them what it costs, and almost always say yes. Depending, of course, what they tell you how much it costs. Because basically what they're telling you, that whatever, often it's claws holding the diamonds or the stones, not always, they're getting loosed or damaged or anything else. And if they're taken care of, you won't necessarily lose the stones. And that happens quite often because we bump into things, we move, we talk, all these stones, like anything can definitely move, and they do. So whenever I give my jewelry to my jeweler, he always checks if the stones are sitting well. That doesn't always mean nothing can happen. Things can happen, but it will be most likely last longer, and we are taking care in the best way possible. Because in a couple of years, if you have been using your jewelry a lot, of course there's a possibility that the stone is moving a little bit. And jewelry usually says to go and give it into cleaning once a year, but let's say you do it every second year. If you did it, I know a lot of my friends don't, and when I see the jewelry, I'm like, it needs a little bit of love. But if you're not going to a jeweler and you're not doing that as number one, you can do something very simple, the basic. A glass of water. And everybody has some kind of cleaning where you clean your dishes. You put a drop or two, or something like that. Take your jewelry. I usually take, most of the stones are well. Pearls are a little bit more sensitive to this, but I put it in here. And you can stir it around if you want. And you leave it there for a little while because this is basically starting to dissolve everything that is there on the stones, on the gold. And a lot of it is like grease and fat, and keep whatever pollution. Often the stones don't look really shiny and bright. And this doesn't take a long time. I did it with a friend in Copenhagen, which was we were sharing rooms, and I saw her jewelry. I'm like, So when I was brushing my teeth, I put it in the glass. I left it there maybe an hour. Then I take it out. When I take it out, this one has a really good surface. Let me take another ring that has good surface. So basically, here. So if you have a ring that has a backside that is open, this one has a backside that is open. It has a gallery too. Gallery is when you can see, there's a see-through, and they've done something in the beautiful gold there. This is a platinum, and platinum is harder than gold, but anyway, there is see-through now. So if this has been dipping in this, I take it out, I rinse it off with a lot of water, and sometimes even put it in a bath of only water, lukewarm, and then I take it up. And this is a little bit before, it doesn't matter. I should usually have a little bit of the detergent in, and I take a very, very, very soft toothbrush, like a baby toothbrush or a kid's toothbrush. It cannot be like mine, the normal hardness, softer. Because some stones are really, really sensitive to scrapes and all that. So, and then I take in the backside and I kind of like go in and out in all angles to get all the dirt out of it. Because that's what I want to get. Because what happens is the light goes in one side, and then by being open on the back side, it can reflect and it gets a sparkly. So if the back side is all full of not so nice things, the light can't come in and reflect and make it delicious. And you want the diamond or the stones to be able to be a luster and go out in the world and shine on you, right? So be aware, put them in glass, bloop, have them there for maybe an hour, take them out, then you can just go, and sometimes I put in the toothbrush in the water and go to get it out again, and then rinse it a little bit, take it out, and then I put it in the water bath. I was jumping over a little quickly. In the water bath, or rinse it, and then I usually put it on either cotton, like a cotton towel, or just whatever paper you have, so it can dry. And that's really just important that it dries. Take care of that. And then you will see it will look very different before and after, I can assure you of that. Then there are so-called jewelry cloths. This is one jewelry cloth. I have a big one, quite new one. There is a lot of brands that have this. One very known one is Haggerty. This is a mini silver jewelry cloth. It's for silver, gold, platinum, diamonds, sapphires, and rubies. They can be different for different. There's another one that is only for pearls, for example. Haggerty also had dipping products where you put the jewelry in like a dip. They're for gold and diamonds and sapphires and rubies. The other ones are for pearls. It's very important you look for what it is, because you do not want to put them in the wrong dip. Then they can damage some of the stones. Some stones are very sensitive for what kind of water, or basically chemicals you're allowed to put them in. So be aware, stones are alive. They can die. Pearls are the ones that you usually see a dye. They have no luster anymore. They're usually yellow, and very rarely you can bring them back when they've really died. I've seen some stones getting totally alive again, but they were kind of on their way. So it can be changed, and you can definitely get a stone and a pearl more alive. One of the most beautiful stones I've seen getting alive and changing a lot is opal. Opal. Here's one, really blue-greenish one, really beautiful one. I have personally seen it changes quite a lot of color depending on who it is with. It really loves being on skin, like basically being worn, have energy from a person. It's really magical to see. I've been amazed what I've seen. One other thing that I've learned is pearl necklaces, and pearls. Taking care of pearls is very important because they do not like our toxins. They don't like our creams. They don't like our perfumes and things like that. So one of the important things is to have a cloth or something and basically clean them off from your fat, from your polluted skin. So what I usually do with pearls is I take any cloth. You can buy things like this that are pearl cloth. You can also just take a towel that is cotton and just go over like wiping them, because what happens is you take off the first layer of whatever skin or whatever you have done with it, and it helps it to be more alive. I would definitely, if you have a lot of pearls or really beautiful ones and you want to take care of them, buy some kind of dip or give it to your jeweler to be cleaned, because they really require a lot more taken care of. Almost every jewelry and stone does, but they are more sensitive. You always like clean them off a little bit and then put them in somewhere in a beautiful box so they don't have as much environmental. Like here's the thing, if they're in a little box like this is one of my traveling boxes. I put rings here, I could put anything there. Here I could hang earrings. I usually hang them toward this side and here as well. So basically you close them so they can't oxidize. They don't want so much air. And then they don't move around and you can't squeeze them. This is really good when you're traveling. Everybody should have like small jewelry boxes that they travel with. And at home too, you can just have bigger ones at home. When I'm traveling, I travel usually in smaller ones. It's more practical for me. But basically with, if you have a pearl necklace, make sure they get threaded once in a while. So, because basically if threaded, then the thread is the one soaking in whatever dirt, pollution there is around you. And that comes then into the pearl, and from inside the pearl it gets damaged, and that you don't want. So if you rethread it, it keeps on being super alive and clean, basically. So you want to take care of your jewelry. It's not expensive at all to take care of your jewelry, and you will see so much giving it back to yourself. You will see so much joy in your jewelry. I have a lot of friends that have beautiful jewelry, but they don't clean them. So every time I see them, I kind of do it in a quick time, just the absolute necessity of it. Then I really recommend giving it to a jeweler and making sure it's taken care of. But that's my opinion. But at least this, everybody can do this. So would you be willing to take care of your jewelry? I'll talk more, and also I do recommend like products. You can Google them online. You can also shop them online. But what if you're willing to take care of your jewelry and let it have a longer life where it's even happier? So I just wanted to say that. I'll do some more videos about different areas, but let's take care of our jewelry.